Hi, and welcome to Andy Film and TV Reviews. Today we're looking at the 2008 Jon Favreau film, Iron Man. Starting out the giant of the industry that is the MCU, Iron Man is the first of a trilogy and introduces us to the action-packed world of the Marvel superhero for the modern era. Based on the comic book hero and loosely following certain aspects of story arcs, it's obviously being changed for the big screen, and nowhere does it state that film adaptations have to follow the comics, word for word guys. The villains in Iron Man are layered. First we think that the main villains are the Ten Rings. Side note, who's excited for Shang-Chi? I know I am. The guys in the caves who are somehow getting their hands on the Stark weaponry. Then we find out that the main antagonist is actually Obadiah Stane, played by Jeff Bridges, who is Stark's father's business partner and seemingly friend of the family in business. He paid the Ten Rings to kill Stark. What a prick. This leads to an Iron Man versus Iron Man, Ironmonger being the name of the bad one. The villain doesn't really seem to pose a threat to Tony Stark. Tony's main issue in this one is not being prepared, with his battery being really low, and that's why the fight isn't over really quickly, in favour of Tony. But with all that, we get to see how resourceful Tony is, to in the end become the victor. To talk about some side characters now, Rhodey. What a guy. Stark's very good friend. You can see the relief in his eyes when he hugs Stark when he gets home. That's props to Terrence Howard, really. It's a shame things didn't work out with him, but we did end up with Don Cheadle. He was also awesome. Later in the film, we see him look at the second Iron Man suit and say something like, "Next time." And how hype was that for War Machine, who hadn't been introduced yet. Also the scene on the private jet, where Rhodey says, "No, I'm not getting drunk. We're working, man. We're working." And then in the next thing we know, he's absolutely hammered. That was pretty good. Rhodey is cool. Pepper, the ever-worrying assistant, who is just great. She is lovely and would do anything for Stark. The chemistry created by Robert Downey Jr. and Gwyneth Paltrow is pretty good. It's a sign of things to come, as she shouts, "Tony!" really well. Happy Hogan, Stark's bodyguard in this film, played by Jon Favreau himself. He doesn't really do much in this film. It's a simple introduction for him. He gets bigger and more involved parts in later films, especially in Spider-Man Far From Home. Speaking about Far From Home, the scientist who Obadiah shouts at the arc reactor, he's in Far From Home as one of the antagonist scientists. And I like that continuation that we have with characters that are interwoven throughout the MCU. Yinsen is a great character, helping Stark and essentially creating the iconic chest magnet that saves Stark's life. In this film, he mentions that they once met in a conference. In Iron Man 3, there's a flashback where we see him there. It's pretty cool. I do love that kind of thing. Also, this film, we have the introduction of Jarvis, who's, out of all of the AI, he is the best AI. And also Phil Coulson. Hey, S.H.I.E.L.D. As is the trend for MCU films, they're very protagonist-focused, which I think is fair. They are the star. They are going to help fix everything eventually. Right from the start, we see Stark showing his arrogance and charm in the army jeep. It makes a very fun character to watch with major flaws, but somehow becomes a hero. Tony is stupidly rich, and let's face it, who wouldn't want to live a Tony Stark lifestyle? And the character knows that we all want to be him, / be with him, being flashy at every opportunity, but we don't hate him for it. This all adds to the watchability of the character, being so lovable. There's something about the CGI of Tony Stark's hand in the final fight scene that really pisses me off. It looks like rubber. It looks like Neo from The Matrix. Was it the second one? Where he's fighting in the small park with the stick versus hordes of Mr. Smith. Falling out of the sky in the Mark 1 suit surely would have killed him, right? But comic books. The first of the end credit scenes we were introduced to, it introduces Samuel Jackson's Nick Fury, and it mentions the Avenger Initiative. Oh my god. At the time, that got everyone pretty rowdy. One of the best lines, where Stark's struggling to get off the suit, and Pepper comes in, and he just says, "Let's face it, this is not the worst thing you've caught me doing." And the iconic line of, "The truth is, I am Iron Man," to close out the film. Iron Man scored a 94% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 79 out of 100 on Metacritic. I'm going to give Iron Man 1 an 8 out of 10. This film is the start of something really special and created a franchise that I have fell in love with. I haven't read any of the comics, but for films that inspire imagination, amazement and wonder, these are amongst the best. Right then guys, that's it for me. What did you guys think about Iron Man 1? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to hit that subscribe button and give us a thumbs up. I'll see you guys next week. See ya.